Welcome to the new meta, episode 61.
61.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for that shout out. I am your host, ThaPChild.
You co-host, PTR. I'm your
host.
I'm your main host, Lord Fluffy.
I am the main host, ThaPChild.
Wow.
Welcome, episode 61. So if you guys are listening and you're like, what are they talking about? Fluff put a whole bunch of sausage as my background picture
Hell yeah.
this week.
Because you love it. It's your favorite.
It's the best.
Definitely better than bacon.
No, everybody knows that that's not true. So how have you been, man? How was your week? Tell me about.
I mean,
I don't know how you're not dead. Like, you stayed up later than I did.
I am a machine. Beep, boop, boop, beep.
Yeah, I agree.
Seriously?
Either that or you get to sleep in. Something.
No. I slept till 4 on Sunday night. I was up till 3:30 last night.
You slept till 4 Sunday night, or you stayed up till 4?
Stayed up till 4 Sunday night. So I'm like literally on like 7 hours of sleep right now for 3 days.
2 days. Yeah. Okay.
I feel great.
I hear you.
See this stuff?
Yeah, I actually feel okay.
It looks like
right
coffee,
now.
but it's actually liquid cocaine. So
Is that Starbucks?
yeah, it is.
You're one of those guys?
No, Lindsay was like, "Do you want coffee?" She was at Target. I was like, "Sure, I'll take a Starbucks."
Oh, that's right. They got Starbucks in every Target now, don't they?
Yep.
Free promo, Starbucks. You can send my check in the mail.
Yeah.
Last week, let's get into some ARPG stuff. Last week,
Nah.
we talked. What was our poll last week? Let's talk about it.
I'm trying to bring it. Where is it? Oh God. Okay.
No.
Assuming last week's poll, assuming they cannot stop botters or have the resources to monitor them properly, would you accept a 5-hour XP cap per day? I'll let you guys vote on that just like one more time. Assuming they cannot stop botters or do not have the resources to monitor properly, would you accept a 5-hour XP cap per day? Yes or no? What do you think won, and what do you think?
Man. What do I think won? No, I think no won. And what do I think? I think it feels so bad to do that. I think a cap of XP versus a time limit. Because if you had 5 hours per day, that is going to force you to really, really, really be crazy efficient for that window to the point where it would be like, I don't know, man. As soon as you log in, you're going to like not be logged in until you're like, okay, you guys ready? Everybody ready? Everybody? All right, go.
Log in. Yeah.
So, and then somebody has to use the bathroom and everybody's going to bitch and be like, well, we got to log out. No, you can't use bathroom. So I think a cap of XP would be better than a time limit, but they both would feel really bad. The botting issue is a problem that they obviously can't control. I don't know what solution to use, but I don't know if that's it. But I want to say chat chat voted no. So
yeah, I think you're probably right. But yeah, I mean, there's better solutions, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, it'd be tough because it's like, well, since you only get that 5 hours XP per day, like, someone like me who just likes to solo all day, like, I'd probably be like, man, I should really like do a rat run for 5 hours or something. But yeah, I'd say no as well.
Yeah.
And we're actually split.
Holy
wow.
Snikes.
And
yes,
we're wrong.
Actually
so the yes won. 52% of the vote said yes.
Man.
48% of the vote
that
said no.
surprises me a lot.
Me too.
I mean, that just kind of, to me, shows that people really are annoyed
upset.
And care about it.
With the bots.
Like if they're willing to go that extreme.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy, man.
That's
crazy. Not what I expected at all.
Not what I expected either. So. But I mean, people hate it. Like, and I get it, man. I freaking get it.
I'm there. I get it too.
But yeah, the poll for next week. We'll go ahead and spin this in chat real quick. Do you like the new Diablo forums?
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys don't know, Diablo got new forums.
I like the bottom one, man.
Yes? No? Or who cares? I use Reddit.
Oh, man.
Go ahead and vote on that.
Can't talk about it.
Nope.
I'm just going to ignore it, act like you didn't post it, and we'll hit it up next week.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So This is something I've been seeing like pop up, and it's like something I'm like, maybe we'll talk about this one evening if there's like filler, right? Like
Okay.
if we need like filler. But basically, I don't think I have it here, do I? Yeah. So like they keep doing this thing, and I don't know if you've seen this at all, but where that like basically there's machine learning AI that like remasters some of the cutscenes from like all the Diablo games. And first they started doing this with like the Diablo 2 cutscenes.
Yeah,
And
I've
it's
seen
pretty
this.
impressive.
So like, okay, I mean, I remember this cutscene very vaguely, and I remember at the time when I saw it thinking like that shit looks amazing. You know what I
Right.
mean? I don't have an 8K monitor,
Well, you
so I
don't?
can't see this in its full glory.
Sure. But it still looks better. Like it still looks crisper.
Yeah, I mean, but I remember thinking it looked so good back then. Like, so I'd have to. I wish I had an A/B to
Mm-hmm.
compare. I guess I could obviously pull one up, but
Right. But yeah,
it
I
looks
mean,
good. I
the
mean, Blizzard's CGI is top tier. It's always been top tier.
I was always kind of disappointed with this particular. So if you guys are listening in, it's like the mouthfeel cutscene from Reaper of Souls. And I always thought that this was like one of their worst CGI things, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think script wise, it's not that awesome, but animation and sound, like what disappoints you about it?
Probably this part the
Tyrael, though.
most.
Tyrael looks like real. He looks like an actor, straight up.
Sure. Sure. I just, yeah. He looks
Yeah,
real. That looks real to you?
that pretty good. I mean, not in that specific scene. I mean, you
Yeah.
could tell it's CG, but there are close-ups of his face where you're like, God damn, like that looks pretty convincing.
This looks, I
So
felt like it looked horrible. But whatever.
horrible.
Yeah. I mean, compared to
mean,
what they're capable of, to be honest,
Yeah. Okay. I mean, hey, you can have that opinion.
I kind of feel like, Diablo just doesn't have like they don't get the best dudes.
They don't
Maybe.
get the 18.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hopefully
I
Diablo
mean,
4 will.
I think it looks really good. I kind of expected a little bit more for Reaper of Souls expansion, at least for the campaign. I thought the campaign was pretty short.
Yeah.
And, when I got it, I remember the first playthrough when I bought it. I installed it and a bunch of buddies, and I hopped in Skype because that was the thing. We hopped in Skype, and they kept talking, and I was like, you know what, fuck you guys, I want to listen to this, and I like left
Nerd.
the party, and like wanted to like experience this, and then it was over. Like I went through and tried to like listen and read the quest and stuff, and it was like an hour or 2 hours or something, and I was done, and I was
Yeah.
like, damn, that was way shorter than I thought it would be.
Yeah. Do you remember? Okay. That when you start like Act 5 and like your camera gets weird for just that like one tiny zone, like right at the start of Act 5. Do you remember that?
I don't really remember that. No.
So
Is
you're,
it
yeah,
still that
you
way?
start Act 5 and your camera like gets like it's no longer fixed and it's weird. And so I remember like starting Reaper of Souls and being like, whoa,
What is that?
like what is going on?
Yeah, I don't remember that. I'm curious now. I kind of want to see it.
Yeah.
Can you start it on one of your old characters? Can you restart it? Like just go to Act 5, whatever the first chapter is, and
I don't think
oh,
so. But yeah,
curious.
it's weird. It's fucking weird. And so I
Let's check
remember
that out.
checking that out and being like, or seeing that and like that was your first intro to like Reaper Souls.
Yeah.
And it's like, are they gonna change like your camera view? But yeah, that's all I remember really.
Oh, I just couldn't cut it right.
I just like flew through it.
Yeah,
Story.
AK. So let's talk about AK for a second. So what we're showing is an AK video.
Yeah.
Right. With the machine. I don't know what the machine learning AI is doing to this video, but I personally haven't seen 8K in person other than a movie theater. Now,
Okay.
a lot of people probably don't realize that when you go to the movies, at least for the last couple of years, it's somebody told me that some are 16K, and I don't know if I believe that, but most of them are 8K now, and it looks good, man. It looks super clean. And Linus did a gaming review on 8K just to see. He had an 8K TV, and he wanted to see like this beast computer. He put two 2080 Ti's and like all this shit just to see if you could even do it.
Right.
And I don't think he was able to even maintain 30 FPS on it in modern titles. So
Anyways,
I don't know.
like I've just seen this pop up time and time again because they've like slowly done one Diablo 2 cutscene like one after the other. I'm like, oh, that's a little interesting, I guess. And it's impressed. Like like I can't really tell as much on this as you could on the Diablo 2 ones, but it's interesting.
Cool.
But the most interesting thing I found this week, in my opinion, was this. So it's just like some random Reddit post. It's only got one upvote, and I just happened to find it by chance. But someone on Reddit asked, I don't know if it's been revealed yet. I can't find any info on it, but will the current season end? And then Nevilistus got on Reddit and said, we'll provide a minimum of 2-week warning before the season ends, as we have in the past. Because development delays have impacted season end forecasting the last couple of seasons, we're no longer providing the end of season date beyond that. And then
Except for last season, wasn't it only 1 week?
I don't know.
Just throwing it up.
And then and then she goes on to say, PTR is coming soon enough. So, one, yay, we're gonna get a PTR, which usually means, I guess we always get. Do we always get a PTR? I guess we always kind of get a PTR.
Yeah, I think there might have been one season they skipped.
Yeah.
With I don't think we did. We got it for the double bounty mats or the double goblins.
Right.
Because that was the only change,
Sure.
I think, for the season.
But, development delays. Okay.
I mean,
maybe they're developing. And PTR coming soon. So
it's easy for me to get my hopes up.
Right.
So
yeah, I think, again.
Do you think we're gonna get something better than my money is on Traveler's Pledge Compass Rose, Endless Walk season.
FNR or Endless Walk, yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Endless Walk.
I think that would be worse than FNR because you're gonna get mitigation while moving. I don't know.
Yeah, but it benefits support.
Yeah.
Too, and FNR wouldn't.
Sure, but support doesn't need more juice. They're fine.
I agree.
Anyways,
some people just I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they kind of have to, and like we talked about this before, but if you want to keep
focus and restraint. Yeah. By the way, Chad.
If you want to keep any of your not necessarily better than casual players, but like any of your somewhat hardcore audience, like you just there's got to be something else.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm at the point this season where even though this seasonal theme was probably one of the better ones we've had.
Sure.
It's just like 3 weeks and I'm burning out.
Right.
I'm like, well, it's I got my wings. I'm good. Which is the seasonal reward. I did my seasonal journey to completion. I've got my extra stash tab they offered up. So, sure. I don't have a lot of desire to keep going until we get, next seasonal theme. And if it's FNR or Traveler's Pledge Compass Rose, I can't see it keeping me more than a month,
sure.
And then it's going to be like, well, alrighty.
Right. What else are we going to play?
So,
yeah, and it's like, I've gotten that a lot this week because, I've been playing more and more PoE, and people are like, why aren't you playing Diablo anymore? Like, it's kind of crazy to think about, like, us more than most people have had extraordinary resilience to, like, the lack of content that Diablo's received. And, like, you guys got to keep in mind, man, like, we've been playing crazy hard, like, since ROS. Like, at least I have, right? And, like, I've been playing since vanilla. And, like, it's just now coming to the point where it's just, like, it's really tough without, like, new content coming to the game other than, like, okay, like, new items. But it's, like, there's nothing that's really, like, changing the base game. And so you just find it harder and harder to go back,
Yeah.
So
I agree. I mean, I like it and I'm interested in it and I still want to play it. And
if they make changes, you're going to make guides, you're going to be excited, but it's like...
Yeah, 100%.
Your longevity
honest,
every
if I
season
fired it
is
up,
contingent.
I could fire it up right now and I'd have fun. As soon as I started playing, I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Sure.
But it's like the desire when I'm not playing it or streaming it, so to say, like I'm not really thinking about it much anymore. I'm not like...
Because what do you think about?
And it'd be...
Like, there's no theory crafting to be done unless there's new stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, you get, a month in the season, you got everything you want. So it's like, now
and the problem I have is, like, nothing's holding me either. It's like, I want Diablo to get new stuff so bad. because I want to play it. I want to play it. But like, so, I grabbed, I played Division for a little bit, and I'm like, oh man, this isn't good in a good state. And I played Destiny, and I love Destiny, but it's not my main game.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I've really fallen in love with Crew. It's a good game. It's a race game. My community doesn't relate, so it's not really great. And it's like there's really nothing except for PoE,
which we'll talk about at the end.
We're gonna get to it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to it.
But yeah, so I found that interesting because one, she's posted on Reddit, which I thought was just like, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And like, where did she even find this? Because there's no upvotes. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, though.
That's great.
To me. That's like you're killing it. That's
right.
what you're supposed to be doing.
You're reading all of them. Like, wow.
Like that's what
insane.
That's amazing for a community
but
manager.
I want to go even further because, like, some of the other topics we're going to talk about kind of touch on this. So, if you guys didn't know, Diablo 3 got a new forum. It's a new like overhaul look and feel. It's definitely a lot cleaner. It feels very similar.
Different though. It's like, to me, it's different. Like, man, I got to get used to this.
It
I'm
makes more
used to
sense.
the old
It's
one,
more intuitive, I think.
I guess.
And it's cleaner. It's faster. Like I click this and boom, and there's no like weird like div, like margins being thrown off like when you first load the page. So it's so much cleaner. And the best thing I think is like the Blizz tracker is so easy to see now, which is like one of the only reasons I go to the forums is to see like, okay, what are they saying? So
that's really cool.
Literally 100%. Right at the top. But yeah, I really like that. But to continue upon kind of what I was just saying, like Brandy has been like just insane. Like, look at this. Mm-hmm. This is just like July 9th. Like, this is more posts in the last like 2 weeks than we probably got all year.
Like a year. Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know if she's been given like the bandwidth to just like, do this. But
did they release the cuffs, or are they gearing up for like, maybe they're starting to gear up for like, okay, let's start trying to get some PR going because we're gonna announce things.
But yeah, it's like actually amazing. I haven't even read like these last two because like, holy shit, she's posting like crazy.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
It's super awesome.
I hope that continues, and I'm actually excited to go like read them because I haven't read all those. So I'm like, well, what's going on? What are we doing? So,
but yeah, insane amount of posts. But one of the more interesting ones, the ones I was able to read, is someone like. Basically, I'm curious your opinion on this because I didn't really know this was a thing, but it makes sense. So this person posted like this bounty botter report, and he had like a video. He recorded the video of like this guy like basically like botting bounties.
Yeah.
And Blizzard took it down and said the video was removed. We don't permit calling out other players on the forums. And then it says, please report your findings to hacks@blizzard.com in the future. And the forums are an inappropriate place to do that.
I know I understand why they're doing it because they don't want the forums to become flooded with people reporting.
Sure.
That's not what they're designed for. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to control the crowd, control the riot before the riot even happens.
Right.
However, I personally don't have an issue with it if there were a spot on the forums for it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because my thing is, it's like if I record somebody breaking into a store and stealing a TV, you're committing the crime, and you're going to get mad at me for reporting it. Like, I'm not the one doing the crime. You know what I'm saying? So,
but it's also kind of like
my opinion,
guilty and proven innocent kind of thing, where like you'd be like, PTR's botting,
Well, if they have me on video,
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like obviously there has to be some proof with it. But if you recorded me running back and forth like this for 4 hours, going from spot to spot,
I was really drunk,
I did that a long time ago.
Sure.
A long time ago, I recorded I was in a bounty game and I streamed a guy for like 20 minutes, just running this tiny circle clearly botting back and forth. And I just laughed at it. I'm sitting here like, yo, and I kept chatting to him and stuff and just like having fun with it. I didn't have as big an audience then, so I don't think it was a big a deal. But,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what I would love?
You
know what I'd love is to take that list. You remember last week we talked to, like, the guy had done some like data mining and the hours played. I would love to get that list of players and like everybody emails hacks@blizzard.com. That list.
Yeah.
Like, I would really love to do that.
I just like, what do they not have?
Like, what's it take? What's it gonna take?
Their job for them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like, and we've talked about this for almost a year and a half now, like where you can get people for free would volunteer to scrub.
Right.
And then all you'd have to do is take one employee for an hour or two and just verify the findings. They could have an account profile link with the hours played on a spreadsheet.
Right.
You click the profile link, look at the hours played, verify, monitor, whatever tools that you have that we don't have access to, that we wouldn't be able to see. But, I would think anybody at like 22 and a half hour uptime would be on my list.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, I'd be anyone above, I mean, it just depends on how much bandwidth. Like, I guess it would be a sample size, right? So it's like, how many people do we think that we could handle monitoring? And then, like, of that sample, like, say we can only handle 100 people. Like, if I look at hours played and then, like, 22 hours and above is that 100 people, then I guess I start there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Which is stupid. It'd be terrible. But, I mean, like, it'd be better than nothing, really.
Honestly, at this point, I don't even know what it would be like to actually think it was clean, to think, like, the leaderboards and top-tier players were clean. That would be such a crazy mindset, wouldn't it?
I know. Can you imagine like how much better the game would be?
I can't. That's the problem. Is I honestly can't at this point really envision what it would be like. Like, would that give me desire to maybe actually try to push?
And then imagine how good that would feel as that player at the top. You know what I mean? Because everyone knows you're legit as fuck, and then you're at the top, so it's like, god damn, like, what do you think about that, boys?
And there's that one guy out there that gets banned because he actually plays 22 and a half hours.
Yeah. And then, exactly. Like, he's been being accused of like botting for like years. And he's like, I told you I was fucking legit.
I don't sleep. I have this condition,
So, yeah. Yeah, man. And it falls back to like, I don't mind losing to those guys. Like, cause like we just can't compete. Like, we just can't. That's life, right?
The thing that really drives me nuts, I think, more than anything, is the guys that try to flex and they cheated.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like,
but that's all fucking botters. Like, that's literally all botters. They're like, that kind of person.
I'm so good at the game. I'm so, like, you suck. Like, really? You're only doing like a 125? I farm. And it's like, dude, you fucking farm up 1,000 keys a season and like 3,700 Paragon. Right. Like, get out of here, man.
Yeah. It's just,
with your full primal, like it's just crazy to me. So it's crazy.
But yeah, I just found that to be super, super interesting. Yeah. Obviously,
I'm down with you. So let's talk about Diablo Immortal a little bit.
Yeah. So the only reason I bring it up is one of the top posts on Reddit this week for Diablo is this guy kind of talking about Mighty Quest by Ubisoft. And how heavily monetized it is. And like his comments on it is like, basically, I can't wait to see the shitstorm that Diablo Immortal is going to create. So it's like everyone already has this like preconceived notion that Diablo Immortal is going to be pay to play, pay to win, something, right? It's going to have microtransactions at the ass. And I that's the general expectation. Everyone, and to me, this post is like, it got 162 upvotes, and it's like, it's a nothing post. But it's like everyone so badly wants Diablo Immortal to fail. Like, it doesn't matter. I kind of feel like it doesn't matter how good it is.
No, I 100% agree. I think this game is doomed before it even launches. 100%, at least in the West. Like, maybe in the East it's cool.
Right.
But the game is going to have to blow people's minds
Right.
in order to get past this. I mean, it can't be good. It has to be like fantastic, the best shit you've ever played,
Right.
in order to not fail. And I just don't see how it's gonna do that. Like, I almost am like I root for it now. Like I kind of want it to do good because I think that's the underdog vote. I think the underdog vote is.
I'm torn.
To,
do you want it to do well? I kind of I'm on both
want
sides.
it to be
I want it to
good.
do well because I want the best for Diablo, but at the same time I don't want it to do well because like I don't want Blizzard in the mobile game genre. Like stay out of there. And if this flops, they're probably going to be done with that.
I mean, here's the thing though. Like Blizzard's gonna get in the mobile game genre, and in all honesty, to me, there's no mobile game that's even worth me considering to look at. So if they can build one that's like, okay, I have something to play when I'm away from home, and I don't feel like I have to pack my Switch with me. Like, okay, cool, but that better not take away from any of the main titles you have. And the problem is they haven't been knocking it out of the park with the other shit. World of Warcraft is failing. StarCraft is dead. They killed Heroes of the Storm. Overwatch is on the decline. Like everything is on the down for Blizzard. And so now they're getting in the mobile game business when they're not at the top. And it's like, well, shit. Like I want the other genres to be your focus. And if you kill a mobile after you've taken care of business there, then okay. But they're not, you know. So
I'm kind of like,
yeah, I'm with you, man. Though I don't want them to get into it. I don't want that to be their focus, and that's where the money's at. So it's scary. It's scary.
I'm. It's also so. What else is scary is like the idea of streaming Diablo Immortal. Like, I can't help but think that like we'll get harassed. You know what I mean? Like even if it's this like amazing,
either way, dude.
Even if it's this amazing game, like legit, like what you just said, like if it's like it's blowing our minds, like people are still gonna come in and like shit all over it.
I don't want to transition to this yet, but I want to start by saying a lot of my community and your community knows that I played PoE for the first time this week.
Sure.
I've had people specifically message me just to tell me PoE sucks ass, it's a piece of shit.
Are you serious?
I'm not joking you, man. I got DMs that literally said PoE is a piece of shit game, I'm not going to play it. And that's it. It wasn't like you don't play it. It was just they wanted to tell me they felt that PoE was shit. And I'm like,
that's weird. I've gotten messages where people are like, "Oh, I can't believe you're playing PoE. I'm following you and shit like that." But I've never gotten like people just telling me like that game sucks. Peace.
I swear it's crazy, man. And to me, it's like, okay, good. Like if you don't like it, that's fine. I honestly don't think you gave it a fair shot from your opinion, but okay,
yeah,
weird. I got it.
Weird.
But anyways, the reason I told that is because it goes back to Immortal. Like, yes, 100%. Let's say Immortal is good enough that we're like, you know what, let's stream it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It would be horrible. And I think people would be mad at us. Our community even would be mad at us for doing it before they even checked out the game.
I mean, I tell you right now, I don't care if it's good or not. I'm fucking streaming it. Like the day that it comes out, I'm streaming it. Like just for the fucking memes. It could be literally the worst game of all time, but I'm still gonna like play it on stream, and like you're gonna see exactly like how I feel about it. You know what I mean? So it's like, to me, it's like whatever. But I can imagine the harassment's that's gonna follow suit from like Twitch chat, because like people again, they want it to fail so hard.
Yeah.
So
100%. Yeah, and I think a lot of people, I think social media in general, and I don't know if Twitch falls in that category. I mean, it's very social, so I don't know if you want to call it social media, but people seem to feed off negativity now. It's like, you know, Twitter arguments and fucking YouTube. If you go look at the top video game channels for YouTube, it's like, dude, most of these guys just shit talk video games all day.
Sure.
Final Fantasy, like here's a high one from the last day or two. You know, like Final Fantasy VII ditches Xbox. It's like it didn't ditch Xbox. They never announced it. Their social media manager like accidentally put Xbox instead of PlayStation on something, completely apologized and fixed it. But then the headlines are like Final Fantasy VII pulls from Xbox, why? And like ditches Xbox. And it's like it's just everything is a shit talk post.
Right. Is it
On
not going to be on
something.
Xbox though? Now you like what? Is it really not going to be on Xbox?
They haven't confirmed it.
God damn it. I really don't want to
So
buy a PlayStation. I don't own one. I don't want to own one.
so I don't know, man. I
Except
mean
the shit mirrors.
I didn't look at all the details. I just
Sure.
see these shit talk titles and I'm
Right.
like, what are they what is this, you know? And it's just like every game, Anthem and like all this, like Anthem is still getting like nobody even plays Anthem and it still gets bashed. You know, it's still
Right.
like a top thing. Like, you know, fuck Anthem.
Oh yeah. And again, you know, you look at Diablo, anytime Diablo posts anything on Twitter still, even if it's nothing to do with Diablo, which happens. Like
Yeah.
people are just like phones, phones. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Got
crazy.
phones.
It's
Yeah.
it's crazy.
People, it's just the negativity, I guess, gets clicks, man.
Yeah.
People want to see fights, they want to see drama. And I guess TV's the same. Like, you know, reality shows do extremely well on TV, and most of them are just people like, yo, let's get a bunch of crazy people, stick them in a house, and let's watch them fight each other. You know,
Right.
it's like okay, you know,
Right.
people watch it. But yeah, I don't know, man. Immortal's gonna be, it's gonna be interesting.
It's
You know,
definitely gonna be an interesting time to be a Diablo streamer.
yeah.
100%. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
but
don't
after
know.
post BlizzCon was kind of an interesting time to be a Diablo streamer, really,
Mhm.
because it was, yeah,
It was
weird.
rough.
It was
It was
weird.
rough. It was definitely rough.
And this next
Um,
subject, maybe it's kind of a sensitive subject. It might be a little touchy, but I'm curious your thoughts. And like, I don't care. I talk about anything.
Mhm.
Diablo consistently, like you can look through their history, and I'm all for Diablo supporting streamers. Like I've talked about it time and time again that I think they should do it more. But if you look through Diablo's history,
It's three people.
three
on the
people.
Rotation.
It's three
Four
people on a rotation. You know, Big Daddy Den, who's amazing, deserves it.
Yeah.
Bloodshed, amazing, deserves it. Riker, you know, does a lot for the community, deserves it. I'm not saying anything negative in that regard, but what do I don't shouldn't they branch out like a little?
You would think. You know,
Yeah.
you would think.
And here's okay. So like I know like Brandy has like who she likes, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I'm curious like if Diablo's ever gonna get the bandwidth to maybe necessarily hire more community managers, because, you know, then you have more state of minds, you know, kind of monitoring the community, which I think is
Yeah.
probably a good thing. So I'm just I mean, what are your thoughts? Like,
So, you know, I'm pretty transparent about almost everything.
Sure.
You know, like there's some details I can't give away, you know, but I will say that I streamed nothing but Diablo literally 7 days a week for 15 months, I think, at one point in time. It's the only game I streamed for 15 months, 7 days a week. And during that time period, I didn't get a single ounce of even acknowledgement from anything that I said to anybody. I reached out to people and
Sure.
didn't even get acknowledgments. Now, that being said, they did invite me to BlizzCon this year. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it, you know, like that's cool as shit.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited for that. And it makes me feel validated in all the effort that I put in. That's like super awesome. But also being said, you didn't get invited to BlizzCon. And to me, on a personal level, it bothers me because we're homies.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And on top of that, I know how much effort you've put in Diablo as a community. You know, your community's built on it, and all the effort you put in. So, you know, I think it's a really weird thing that's going on there.
Sure.
And I don't know if me getting invited means that I'm in the circle or whatever, but I still, other than that, I don't have much correspondence with anybody.
Sure.
You know, like Diablo's never retweeted my tweet about Diablo or retweeted that I'm going live. Or
Sure.
I've asked questions about getting on the battle.net launcher and
Yeah.
it's never been responded.
Sure.
You know, so I don't know, man. Like I definitely think even if it's not us, like, and don't get me wrong, I would love it to be us, but even if it's not us,
Yeah.
I still think that branching out to people that are putting in work and are supporting their game and their community, and even if it's streamers, if it's YouTubers, if it's people on Reddit, like there is a lot of people out there that do good things for the game.
Yeah.
That I think it'd be cool
And
if
I would almost prefer
acknowledge them
it
a little bit.
wasn't us. Like, so when I say us, I mean, like, you look at some of the top content creators, streamers for Diablo. Like, you know, like I go stream Diablo now and I'd probably be like half the directory of Diablo. Like, it's, I would prefer them not to, like, you don't like Riker and Bloodshed and Big Daddy Den, amazing guys. Again, they don't need Diablo to retweet them. Anyone that plays Diablo, like, knows who they are. Like, I'm not saying they should never do it again, but like, I'm the smaller streamers. Like, that's who I want to see them like feature. Like, people that, like, you know, they play Diablo like for 3 weeks straight or something like that. It's like, well, obviously they're super into it in that moment. Like, let's hear from those guys.
That's the thing. So that brings up a question to me. And it's like, so I play the crew a lot, right? Like that for the last 3 months, I've been playing the crap out of that game, and it has like 0 presence on Twitch. Like if I go in that directory, I'm #1 every time because there's probably like 5 or 6 guys with like 10 viewers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a fun game. It's an amazing game. I honestly don't really understand why it doesn't have a bigger community. I think the game launched in a poor state. But that being said, like I do the same thing with them. It's like, you know, they have a Twitter account, they have followers. I tweet out, hey, I'm going live, I'm going to play some crew, blah, blah, blah. And it's the same thing. Like they've never interacted with me. Now, I did ask them a question and they responded to me.
That's cool.
But it's like, wouldn't you think their community manager would keep an active eye on that directory? I mean, I've been streaming that game for 3 months. At that point, I would say like, hey, this guy's bringing some people in.
Sure.
You know, like let's do something. But you know, maybe I just don't understand that role.
Sure.
Now, that being said, where does Path of Exile features people on their website? I see you're pulling it up. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I guess I have to be logged in.
So to say this, when I streamed Path of Exile yesterday, I looked at my stats for that, like my stream.
Sure.
I actually got views from Path of Exile's website. I had redirects from their website.
On their homepage, they featured live streams.
Yeah, and I got last night's stream. I got 100 views from their website.
That's awesome.
That's more views than I've ever gotten from any other external source that I had no input on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
right. And to build on that, and the reason I bring it up is stuff like this. So Path of Exile, as far as I know, once a month, they do like a streamer interview, and it's never the same person. Like they're not just like interviewing Quinn, Mathil, you know, Ziggy D, like the big guys. Like they get into someone new every month, and they do a little forum interview. People interact with it. People like it.
Bungie used to do that. In Destiny 1 days, they did this, and they did smaller streamers, and it was cool as shit. Yeah. Like, it was awesome, dude. There were some smaller guys that I used to hang out with, and one of them got picked to be interviewed on their site. It was just like this. And it was cool, man. And for a couple days after that, like, his numbers were above his normal, you know? And it was super cool, and the guy deserved the exposure, and I'm happy for him, you know? So, like, you know, this doesn't maybe bring a lot to things, but... that being said, I don't think it's Blizzard's job to expose us.
No,
so it sounds
100%.
It sounds like I don't want it to sound like we're coming off as like Blizzard should promote us streamers. And I say us as like in streamers in general. Blizzard doesn't have to promote us, but I think it's good for them, and it's good for us, and it's good for the community if they look at people and watch a little bit of the content and say, like, these guys...
Yeah, watch more than those
guys,
3 or 4 guys, 100%.
Yeah, they know the game. they're interacting with their communities. They're supportive to the community and to our game. Let's help them too. It helps
and
us,
it's
helps
in
them.
their best interest. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. Like those streamers are all super positive guys, like 100%, and like
they deserve it, 100%,
they deserve it.
man.
And
I love all three of those guys. So it's
but
it's
if
good.
you like just maybe, like hypothetically speaking, if you like start to branch out and like maybe feature more streamers, like people will have like a better feeling towards you as like a company, I guess, and maybe be more positive, like in general about the game. You know what I mean? Like, you're more likely to like, I don't know, like over time, I feel like be positive towards a game if you feel like there's a positive relationship.
Right.
But
yeah, I mean, I hope at least in the future that's something that is considered. But it's super eggshells, I feel like, for me, because it's like I feel like I'm on the cusp of getting in the circle, but at the same time, it's like even if I am or if I'm not, it shouldn't feel like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It should just be like, hey, man, you've been grinding the shit
Yeah,
out of some D3.
you've been making a lot of content, and like your numbers are cracking, and like we appreciate that, and you're bringing people to the game, and blah blah blah. It shouldn't be like I don't like you, so like I'm only gonna talk to these people. Like it's weird. But yeah, in other news, just real quick before we get into like you were playing PoE this week. I just saw this. I don't know if you saw this or not, but Stadia has like a founders pack now.
I didn't see this. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I don't really follow it, but it's at the top of Reddit. So basically you can like pre-order. It says Stadia Founders Edition, $129. Includes 3 months of Stadia Pro, a Founders Badge, Buddy Pass, and Stadia name.
And a Stadia what name?
Name?
What the hell is that?
I don't know. I don't know. I actually don't know.
Like your gamer tag?
name?
Like your
you can
PSN
lock it
ID?
in now, kind of thing maybe? Like, because people are big on their gamer tags. I don't know.
What if I registered Lord Fluffy? Oh my god.
I mean, people are going to do it. So many fans.
I want to get Halo and just suck.
I like that you tried to make a version of Lord Fluffy on PoE. Taken. ThaPChild, super not taken.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's because you had already taken it.
No, dude.
So he's talking about, when I rolled my first character on PoE, I tried to name it Lord Fluffy, so I could impersonate Fluff. $129. I'm assuming that gets you the controller, 3 months of service. So 3 months of service. I don't know. They announced the pricing. I don't remember it though.
Yeah, I don't know.
With their pro service, I think it's like $20-ish a month. I mean, so half of it's gonna go into the service. What's
That's
that
crazy.
thing next to it? Is that your Stadia HDMI device? Like it looks like a
I don't know,
Google. It's like, what's the Google screen?
It's the tracker that they put on you.
Yeah, no. I think Stadia is gonna suck, personally. I don't see
of course.
How do they get past the latency, man? I just don't see how they can do it. I really don't.
I mean,
and how can they
think that their market
at a high enough quality?
Sure.
It's like full screen somebody's stream. You can find the best quality stream on Twitch, and if you full screen it and sit close, like as if you were gonna play the game, it doesn't look like you're playing. I mean, you can see pixelation. You see the compression.
Right.
It's
just like
I just don't see
full screen this stream, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I chat was telling me mine was looking better the other day. So
Yours is better color. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't. Obviously, I think the key demographic here is like people that are just like, I call it like gaming whores. Like you're just like you just always want to play every game, right? Like there's people out there that love that, and then
I'm kind of like that a little bit, dude. I love to try.
Not. No, you're not. Like every single thing. Like there's people like I've got a friend that like, or I used to have a friend that used like to would go watch every movie that came out in the theater, just like literally every single one, like no matter what it is. Nuts. Yeah. So I know
I
there's
could play
people
a
like
different game 7 days a week though. I really could. I think like I get sucked into them for a week or two, and then it's like, okay, next.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see what Stadia does. The latency thing is going to be a killer. I honestly can't wait to play it because I want to get proven wrong. I hope they have some kind of crazy technology where it's just like, damn, that looks and feels amazing.
Right.
But let's see how they can.
And in other news, okay. First, before we get into
This
to you,
is the biggest news.
Before we get into you, I got a bone to pick. Okay, I got a bone to pick with you.
me.
Yeah.
With me. Okay.
Yeah. You ruined my Path of Exile experience this league because I'll tell you why. So I created a character on Trade League to play with you, to like hold your hand through the game.
Yeah.
And whilst leveling that character, I got a headhunter. And some of you guys are not going to know what that means, but it's like, it's insane. It's actually insane that it just dropped for me. Like, I was in Dropatowski's stream, and he said that like there's like data mining out there, and it's literally happened to like 16 people, all league of all the people that play this game.
You should be thanking me. What's your bone with me? You should be.
I don't want to play Trade League, but now I have to because like I have a headhunter. Like I can't not play Trade League because
you like Trade League.
No, I fucking don't. That's
how you got the headhunter, dude.
No, it had nothing to do with trading. It was just on Trade League. I got it as a draw.
Sure,
it's the worst,
man. Sure you did. So,
yeah. But yeah,
where's
you've
the
been
stream
playing
of you getting this headhunter?
I was off stream. Okay, yeah, okay.
Oh, you're off stream when you got it. Interesting. Interesting. How?
Yeah.
And did your currency count go down since the last stream?
Nope.
No, I'm just giving you
I went from zero currency to zero currency.
You did get it legit. Headhunter. You did get it legit. So I'm a PoE super noob, so I've only played for like 10 hours. But I do know that every stream I've watched this league has talked about Headhunter, every single one. So I've dropped in on Dusky, I've dropped in on DatMods, I've dropped in on you, Quinn for a little bit. Every single stream that I went in, like Headhunter was brought up within 10 minutes of me being in the stream. I mean, that's all people talk about.
It's a big deal, right? Especially this league, because Legion.
So I don't really know how awesome it is because I can't understand that stuff yet, but it's got to be a big deal when everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
So congrats, man.
Thanks. I actually don't like it. I
Really?
think that Headhunter should be like deleted because I think it makes the game cheesy. I think it makes the game like silly. Like, yeah, I don't like it, but I can't.
Is it
not
fun?
Use it. To me, no. Because like, okay, so one of the things that happen, like you move at the speed of light. Your character is literally the size of your screen, and so like when you cyclone, for example, like you're killing everything on your screen plus some, and it's just like it's ridiculous. It's a little ridiculous. So I kind of just like
is it possible to like chain indefinitely? Like, can you just
depend? Like, so like if you go into like an army battle for Legion, like you can. You're just like.
So I'm going to explain this from what I understand. Tell me if I'm right. For all you guys that don't play PoE and you're in your D3 heads like me, what this thing does is when you kill an elite pack, it would be like giving the affixes that elite pack has to you, and then you get them for 20 seconds, right?
Right, and stacking them. So like say you kill arcane lasers, and then you kill another arcane lasers, and you kill another arcane lasers. Like you get like 3 buffs of arcane. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just insane.
So that's kind of a way to relate how game breaking it is. So yeah, but I tried Path of Exile.
Yes.
So
talk to us. Walk us through your experience so far.
So my experience was I have procrastinated and put this off for a year and a half. And I think part of the reason I put it off for 2 reasons. The first reason is I was afraid I was going to like it, and I'm kind of like a D3 streamer, and I don't want to like get sucked into it. It's weird. I don't know how to explain that, but it's like I was afraid I was going to get sucked into this game, and although that sounds good, I'm like, man, I like D3. I want to keep playing D3. And then 2, it is super overwhelming for a new player. Okay? Like, it is super intimidating, right? And so my thing to that is like, one, Fluff helped me out. So I decided, okay, we're gonna play. We scheduled it. Fluff and I hopped in Discord together. He walked me through like, okay, you need to get, this is the build guide we're gonna do. This is how you install loot filters so you don't see all this shit. And then, so we jumped in a party and we started leveling together. And you kind of just drug me through stuff for the first evening. It was like, I'm following you. I'm getting my key bindings set up like Diablo has them, so it feels familiar. The ARPG aspect is super. Like if you play Diablo, you can move your character, you can pick up loot, you can attack people. Like it's still very similar. But it was fun, man. I had a good time the first day. It wasn't, oh my God, awesome. I wasn't dreaming about PoE that night.
Sure.
The next day, I didn't wake up and go like, God, I can't wait to get on PoE.
Sure.
But it was like, it wasn't bad though. I wasn't like, oh, this sucks. I'm not gonna ever play it again. It was okay. The second day we played it, same thing. We played it together, hopped in Discord. You had juiced your character up since I had last played.
Yeah.
And so we partied up, and it was just like you going at lightning speed, destroying. It would be the equivalent if you play Diablo of jumping in a party as a brand new character with no gear, hopping in with a multi-shot Necro, our Demon Hunter. Like Fluff is clearing the entire screen, and I'm just running behind picking up loot. And so after like 20 minutes of this or 10 minutes of this, we're like, this is stupid.
Right.
I can kill things by myself. You do your thing, I'll do my thing. We'll just ask questions if I have them. And so once I did that, it became a lot more fun. Chat was there to help me out. They answered questions. Some of them gave me bad advice. Some of them gave me good advice. But I had a good time overall. And the second day was more fun than the first day, I think. Maybe because I was actually killing things and feeling like I was doing something myself.
Right.
Boss mechanics in this game were awesome, dude. Like the boss fights felt way better than anything in Diablo, in my opinion. Like they were just unique. And they were punishing. Like I got hit by an ability and it just outright killed me. It was just like, I'm dead. Like, okay, cool.
And you have pretty good stuff. Like you got pretty good stuff. So.
Yeah, and I was able to see what happened too. So I was like, well, I stood in dumb shit. Like I got killed. Like that's cool. I understand. The different thing about this game versus Diablo is that like when I died, it wasn't like start the encounter over like Diablo. You can go back in and continue the fight where you died at. Now, somebody told me there's a limit to how many times that can happen.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, that wasn't as punishing, at least,
Right.
So as a new player, that's cool. My advice, though, if you haven't played it, if you like Diablo and you haven't played Path of Exile, I definitely think it's worth your time. I definitely think it's super overwhelming, and just block out all that noise and just play the game.
Right.
Just play the game and you'll have fun. And don't worry about not understanding this system, or don't worry about the skill tree being so fucking daunting. Pull up a build guide. There are billions of them. Get help from a PoE streamer like Fluff here. Like if you're listening to this podcast, you know where to find him. Just get in his stream and say, hey, brand new player, what build should I start with? His community or Fluff would probably point you in the right direction, and then you can copy a build. Anybody can click circles from a build guide.
Right.
It's not hard. Most of the gems you needed for the build, it looks like they came from like doing quests and stuff. So it's not like the builds are impossible to get or they're drop related like Diablo. You get the gems. The gems are the abilities, and that's where your stuff comes from. So it seems like you can get most of those just from playing the game. So just do it, man. I had fun though. My overall opinion, I had a good time. I'm gonna play more of it for sure. So.
Nice. Yeah, well, I'm curious to see how this like develops. Like as you understand more and more, and maybe eventually.
It's crazy. It's like it's funny though. It's like, and here's an example, right? An example that I have is the first night Fluff and I are leveling together, and somebody in chat is like, "Yo, collect 40 of those name rings, and you can turn it in for something for like this or that."
Right. What are we?
And it's like, thank you for trying to be helpful. That doesn't help a brand new player, okay? Now, I've been streaming long enough. I know when to filter shit like that out, but it's just like, I got a whole lot of that. Like the backseat gaming as a streamer, you're used to it, But the amount you get that I was getting in PoE was like, goddamn. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like everybody was like, no, don't do that, do this and stuff. And it was cool though, because chat was super helpful for the most part. Like they definitely pointed me in the right direction a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
And so that made, I think, it easier for me even because I had people to ask questions to. But my suggestion is just play the game, man, and ignore all the bullshit you don't understand until you're like literally dying repeatedly and you don't know what's going on.
Right.
Then seek out help. But just play, and you'll learn it, man. You'll get it. You'll figure it out.
Sure.
So,
and to add to that, there's two things. So one is like you're gonna be overwhelmed, 100%. There's no way of getting around it. Even if you're like a gamer god, you're just gonna be overwhelmed.
Yeah, Jesus would be overwhelmed.
But I mean that in a really positive sense because, you know, as someone who streamed Diablo for such a long time, and like there was a long period of time where I would look at a game like PoE and be like, that's just like, it's kind of like overly complicated and stupid. You learn to appreciate that because you know that's like, while it might be seem overwhelming now and like you're gonna put it off and like learn it later, like that's almost like a good thing because it's like, well, there's content there that like I don't even understand or know, but like I'm gonna get it to learn and to know that later and to master that, and like that's great. It's just completely fun opposite of Diablo, you know.
Yeah, and like that's where the fun comes in. Is it's think about when you don't understand a game and you're learning things and you're becoming more powerful. That's the fun in the game.
Sure.
Once you understand it, like bounties in Diablo, I hate them. But the very first set of bounties I did, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool because you don't understand the mechanic and what's going on, and it's new.
Right.
And so PoE to me, only having played it, 10, 12 hours, however long I've played, it makes me realize that like it's enough for me to see like, holy shit, there is going to be crazy amounts of things in this game to do. And I don't even understand yet, like any of it.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking at the gems in general. I'm like, you have endless possibility with these gems and the links, and like I've already seen like the bestiary stuff pop up. I've seen some kind of, what's the rift thing called? I don't even remember what that's called.
The new thing, the Legion?
No, the Legion thing is one, and then there are cracks in the ground. Isn't that a mechanic too?
That's Abyss, yeah.
So those things. There's mapping stuff that I've started to like collect things for, I guess now. So there's like all these pieces that I'm like, I haven't even seen these things yet, and I'm already thinking like, God damn, this is gonna be crazy.
Right.
So,
and what I'll say as well, like kind of the second point is like, so I've been playing PoE pretty diligently. Like I've been playing PoE since beta, but like never like hard. Like I played it hard like when originally it was in beta, and I came back like one league and played for like a couple weeks. But like last league and this league, I played really hard, and there's still once a day, like literally once a day, where I'm like researching something or I'm like in the game doing something, and I'm like, like once a day there's that. Like
that's how that works.
Yeah. Right. So it's actually crazy that still happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just interesting because you're like, you look at these like crazy guys that stream PoE like since like the dawn of time, like Mathel, like Cute Dog and like Ziggy D, all those guys, and like the amount of knowledge they must have in their brain about this game, it's just like, it's kind of mind blowing because there's so much.
Right.
So
the only problem I have with PoE, let's talk about the negative.
Okay, sure.
Why does the character look like he's got a stick up his butt and he should be in Shrek? When he runs, it looks so bad. I was talking about chat. Like, that's it. Like, if you replace the character with, like, something that looks a little more fluid, a little more realistic, dude, the game, graphically, I think it's superior to Diablo. And I know that sounds really weird, right?
Okay.
If you play it and then flip, like, if you open both games at the same time and you're flipping back and forth, I think the scenery, the environments, and even some of the monsters and the bosses look better and more detailed than Diablo. But the main character, which is who you are, looks worse. And that's the thing to me that turns it off. and the camera needs to zoom out just a hair, just a pinch.
Sure.
I think personally, but it's not as bad as I thought. The UI looks a little like, they could use
Yeah, but you
some
look at Diablo UI. I mean, they both kind of suck.
Diablo UI is not great either.
Yeah.
I think it's the squareness
Yeah.
of PoEs
Sure.
that makes it look so dated, because it's so squared off around your resources. And it's if hopefully the 4.0 patch comes and they juice the graphics up out of this. If they make this game visually like to the next level, goddamn, dude, it would destroy.
Yeah.
It would. I mean, I think that's the biggest downfall to it, and it's not that bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was.
Sure.
Once I actually played it.
Right.
So that's my biggest downside. The overwhelmingness of it. Honestly, if you can just block it out, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
As newer players. So
Word
we'll
up.
get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was cool. I had a good time with it. PoE is a fun game. I can't wait to play more. So
You heard it here. He's a PoE streamer now, guys.
oh my god.
I can't wait for people to come in your stream like, when did you quit Diablo? Why?
What? I know. Well, yeah, I already get that.
Still get it. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
You want to hit some twit questions?
Yeah, let's hit them.
The twitters. Guys, if you want to ask questions on the podcast, you can tweet them at ThaPChild, at Lord__Fluffy, or join our Discords. The links are in the YouTube, or if you're live, you can type !Discord, and what's my command? I don't remember.
ThaPChild.
ThaPChild, yeah. The first question comes from Zombie Wolf. He said, would you rather play an ARPG that graphically looks amazing, 4K quality, but gets only one expansion in 9 years, or play a less visually stimulating RPG that gets content all the time?
That's pretty easy.
It's not even a choice.
Yeah.
100% it would be the crappy looking one that gets content.
I mean, I guess it kind of depends. Like, okay, let's take the complete ends of the spectrum, right? So we're talking, like, say it's Nintendo graphics, like 8 bits, right?
Yeah.
Versus,
I'm not gonna play that.
And it's like the most amazing game we've ever played. But like, it's too hard to get past something like that.
I can't even play Diablo 2. I really can't. Like, as cool as the game might be from a content perspective and just nostalgia, it just looks like crap.
Right. So. RuneScape, that's a perfect example. Tons of content in that game, but no way I would ever play it. No fucking way. Looks like shit.
Didn't they remaster that or something?
Who knows?
I don't know either. Kirei says, at the end, what end game in Diablo 4 content do you want? Greater Rift, bounties, boss runs, Ubers, farming from D2, mapping from PoE, raids from WoW, etc. Kind of like end game I haven't ever seen before, so I can't envision it.
Sure.
But if I had to pick from games,
to
throw together, raids are really cool, but raids do not hold up well. Raids are cool the first time and maybe the second or third time, but farming a raid repeatedly gets old super fast.
Sure.
So I'm going to say no to that. I can't comment on mapping. What do you think about mapping?
Mapping's pretty great, but the only problem with mapping is it's like finite to an extent. Like at least the unlocking, like that feeling of like discovery is finite, but it is a difficult finite. So like not a lot of players are gonna like fully complete their atlas and stuff. So yeah,
variety, I guess, is my answer.
Sure.
Man. I want end game variety. I want meaningful things that synergize, and hopefully none of them suck like bounties. Like, let's be real. Bounties are not fun. Nobody likes doing bounties. They're required in Diablo 4.
Yeah.
I mean, Diablo 3. They're required, and I don't like doing them. So to me, that end game is not a good fit. So things that hopefully are more fun than that.
Yeah.
Players are... Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, the organicness of PoE, like I would really like something like that. And I would, because again, week after week, like there's got to be a middle ground. Like, because Diablo is so good at entrancing new players, and PoE is so good at scaring new players. Diablo is so good at, kind of losing hardcore players, and PoE is so good at like retaining those players. So it's like there's got to be some middle ground, like that. Hopefully, Diablo 4 can hit.
Right, I'm with you, 100%. 100%. Connor says, "PTR, have your views on PoE changed?" Yeah, man. I mean, I've watched PoE before I played it, like probably more than any person that hasn't played it has, just because I like hanging out with certain guys. That some of the old D3 streamers, man, I like hanging out with them.
Sure.
So I go hang out and watch the content. And so I got it a little bit, but yeah, it's more fun than it was what I thought it would be.
Sure.
I guess I should say.
Right.
So yeah, I had a good time. I haven't hit endgame, so I'm not sold 100% yet, though. I got to see if the leveling experience has been pretty good, as good as you could expect from a leveling experience.
Right.
Once I get to endgame, if I like it and I'm having a good time, that's when it'll really be like, okay, I'm gonna keep playing this, or it was cool, I tried it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move on.
Yep.
Dirty Nap says peanut butter crunchy or smooth. There is a correct answer here. 100%.
Okay. There is. I didn't know that. Depends. Like in a smoothie, I don't really want all the crunchiness at the bottom, so I'd rather have smooth peanut butter.
We're just talking about peanut butter. We're talking about PBJ.
You don't understand. Like no, not PBJ is fucking gross. It's disgusting.
What?
But peanut butter itself is amazing. Like nature's nectar.
God.
It's great. But yeah, I mean, it depends on the scenario. I like crunchy a lot. I like smooth a lot. So
I agree with the scenario thing. Crunchy for sure. On a PBJ, crunchy 100% of the time. If I have the choice, I'm picking crunchy. But like you dip celery in peanut butter. You ever done that?
what? No. Yeah, I mean that's a thing.
Dips?
But celery?
Yeah.
Like come on.
Yeah, like you can't. You got to get smooth for that.
Have you ever seen that bit like on YouTube about celery? And
No.
yeah, that's what I think of every time. It's like ruined celery for me.
Okay.
Don't
I'll
look
have
it
to
up.
Google
Don't look
this.
it up. Don't look it up because you'll
Don't do
you'll
it?
hate celery. So
All right. This is the last question we have for the night. Rhaegar says, "Why do they sterilize needles for the lethal injection?"
do they really?
I don't know. I don't know the process, but let's take them at face value. If they do, like,
Just give them a rusty old needle. Like, what's the matter? Like those.
just
Where did all the like?
fucking-
You know, you go to like the doctor's office and they inject you with something and it goes in that like radioactive bag. Like they should just use those, right? You're gonna die.
I mean, what's it matter, right? Just the same needle for everybody. Save some taxpayer money. You know what I mean?
I guess like so it doesn't get clogged. You know.
It's not even funny, man. We're making fun of people that are getting killed. So
I mean, they're on death row for a reason. Probably there's probably some innocents that eventually or sometimes happen, but
yeah, a couple. I don't know if that's true. That's crazy. It's creepy.
yeah.
So
no idea.
anyway, not a lot of questions this week. If you guys want to submit questions, you can again tweet them at ThaPChild Lord__Fluffy, or you can join our Discords, and that's honestly a great spot to check as the Discord.
That's probably the best spot.
So,
but follow us on Twitter anyway.
definitely do the Twitters. That's it, man. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Get out of here. Ooh.
Are you gonna go play more?
Yeah.
Oh shit, boys! You're in Act
I gotta
6?
get level. No, I'm in 7.
Oh.
I'm in 7.
Girl,
Come on now.
Look out.
I got 6 levels to go till I'm big 60.
Oh shit! I got a whole stack of gear for you when you hit 60, dude.
You're hooking me up at 60. What do you think about that? You think getting hooked up is good or bad?
I don't know for your first play. Okay, so the build that I picked for you, the build I've selected for you, I think is very easy to understand.
Yeah.
Your hits can't be evaded. You're not gonna have a ton of skills at your disposal, so you're not gonna be kind of overwhelmed with that. to just get in and kind of be able to handle the content and not get like one shot all the time, I think it's kind of a positive thing.
Yeah.
And then I've psychologically, I've thought a lot about it, So, yeah, I mean, getting hooked up, like, say I were to give you like a headhunter and like just the craziest gear, then
like
that's
I've had
stupid.
people offer in stream to like jump in and give me stuff, and I've
Right.
declined. I'm like,
Right.
thank you, but I'm good.
Right.
And I know you give me a couple pieces that are really nice,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's ridiculous. Has it been like crazy ridiculous?
No, I give you Tabula for leveling. It's pretty standard. And
Yeah. So,
I've got a 6-link axe for you at like 62, but it's not like it's like a starter axe, but it's 6-link, which is really, really good. So it's like you're not gonna be able to like farm Uber Elder in 2 seconds. So it's not like it's gonna be insane. But
yeah.
I think
So
your first character, and I would encourage, like, if you're starting PoE, like, start up a Cyclone. Like, I know everyone's playing it, but it's so strong right now. It's really, really easy to play.
especially if you play Diablo.
Right.
If you've ever played Whirlwind Barb, it's Whirlwind Barb.
Right.
Like it's
Yeah. It's
got it.
just so easy to understand, and your objectives should kind of be like, I want to sample all the things, and then like once you're comfortable-ish with all the things, then maybe you go and look at me like, okay, what are the skills in this game? Like, what do I want to play, right?
Right.
So
Yeah. Cool.
and you have some currency
Yeah,
to do that because you'll have this other character. So, but yeah,
Sounds good.
let's get out of here.
Episode 62 next week, guys.
Is it? Is that the one?
Be there.
Still on?
Ask your questions. Follow us on
Yeah.
Twitters.
It's the one after the next one that you're not there, right?
Oh wait. No,
23rd?
this was the last one.
Yeah. So it's the 23rd you're out?
Yeah,
Wow, dude.
So we
Wow.
won't see you guys until the 30th.
The
For
30th.
episode 62.
You're just going to give people bad
We got
info.
next week off. Get to sleep in. I mean, we can do a Skype call from
It's okay.
Palm Springs.
Enjoy your vacation. You'll probably be like, God, I can't play any PoE in here. And
No, I think I'll be okay. I think I'll make it. All right, you're dying, so we're up.
yeah. See you guys.
All right.
2 weeks. All right.
Peace out.